Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to episode whatever it is of the Reading FC podcast for you today. We've got Mr. Friday back, and we got Ryan back on the Monday podcast because I might have done a bit of a boo boo last week. So that was up. That was my fault. But we're going to be discussing today the who did we just play? Bristol City game. Bristol City, because I know Ryan gets angry when we call them Bristol. The Bristol City game, and we will be doing a little build up to the Sheffield Wednesday game that will be going on Wednesday. All it is just score predictions. That's basically what we're going to be doing for that. So yeah. So don't forget as well, I would just want to say a massive thank you to everyone as well that's been watching our videos, listening to us over the past 2 weeks now. We're going to 5 days a week, doing it to Monday to Friday. Doing lots of different things on Mondays. We do with Courtney, obviously, talking all things about Reading. Tuesday, we do wrestling. Wednesday, we do Formula One. Thursday, we do the NFL, which for some reason has been blowing up. Um, Thank you to everyone that's been watching that or listening to the NFL show. It's growing so much faster than I ever expected. And then Fridays we'll build up to the Reading game that's coming that Saturday, and anything else that, in particular, that we feel needs to be built up or what we're looking forward to over the weekend as well. So, just want to say thank you to everyone. I'll probably do this for the next few weeks as I'm very grateful for everyone's support that you guys have done for us. We've got a lot of things that we've got planning over the Christmas period as well for everyone. We've got a few specials for Christmas Day and New Year's Day. So on New Year's Day, before you go to football, when you're hungover, you'll be able to watch one of our little funny videos that we've got planned for you guys as well. And Christmas Day, if you lot got a PS5 or a game or whatever you got, and you're sitting in your room and just want to have something on in the background, we will be doing something for you as well. We want to make sure that during the Christmas period, everyone has a bit of entertainment. If there's anything we could try and do, if you guys want to talk to us as well, our DMs are open as well. So we're happy to listen to you guys as well if you want to come and have a chat. But yeah, so don't forget as well, all of the links to all of our social media pages are down below in the description. And don't forget to go subscribe if you're watching on YouTube or any other platforms. And if you're on YouTube and you're watching this, don't forget to go and click the bell on the top right hand corner. That will give you instant notification for when we go live with any video moving forward. So yes, and breathe. Right, let's get into it. Mr. Friday, how are you, sir?
Yeah, much better after Reading got back to winning ways yesterday. Yeah, so I'm feeling good.
So I'm going to be open and honest with everyone. I didn't watch 80 minutes of the game. I was a poor form. I'm just going to point this out as well. Is the two games I haven't watched, we've drawn and won. So maybe me not watching it might be a good idea. But Ryan, how are you feeling? How are you, anyways? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Right.
You say that the two games you haven't watched and we've won.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the first time since the Blackburn game where I had a cup of tea in a certain mug in a certain way.
Oh, you're not going in a superstition way that I am.
I'm just saying.
You'll become superstitious like me.
Maybe a coincidence, maybe not.
Right, so how were we all feeling before the game? I know Ryan was very confident because he predicted the 3-1 win. Oh, I hate him sometimes. I swear he is the Google search.
That is impressive.
He's done that. I think that's the third time you've done it this season, I think.
I think fifth.
No, what? You got it exactly right.
Yeah, Derby.
Yeah.
Rotherham. Did I say 3-0 for
Yeah,
Rotherham?
yeah, you did say that.
Can't remember who else.
No, I think I think this is your third one that he's got predicted right. How were we all feeling before the game, Mr. Friday? How were you feeling? Were you confident?
Fancied them for a draw. I thought after getting a point against Millwall that they sort of, I was going to say steadied the ship, but you know what I'm trying to say.
They stopped the rut.
Yeah, exactly. So I felt like it would be obviously a different test and a difficult test, but they'd have enough in them to. I think I said before. I think I said 2-1, but I think in my head I sort of fancied a 1-0.
I said 1-0. That's what I predicted. How were you both feeling about the starting 11? Let's read through it. Raphael, Tom Holmes, Richards, Moore, Morrison. Then you've got Reno, Lauren, Ajaria, Elise, Mate, and Jao. And the bench: Southwood, Estevez, Gibson, McIntyre, Tetic, Semedo. I don't know how to say this. The former Brevet. Is it Onion? Onion?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Luco, Bulldog. But how are we all feeling? Ryan, I'll go to you first. How were you feeling when you first saw that starting 11?
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Uh-huh.
Like I don't normally say it, but I turned around and was like, "That's a fantastic lineup."
Yeah. So, Mr. Friday, me and Ryan had a debate about Elise, or Elise, however you want to say his name. I say that what Paunovic has done is correct by dropping him out for a few games, bringing him back in every so often. How do you think he sort of worked Elise this season so far?
Brilliantly. Yeah, I think I've said it before that with young players, I completely agree that it's important to sort of not give them too much too soon. The last thing you want is the Theo Walcott effect. You look at managers like Sir Alex Ferguson, who with the class of '92, I know that obviously it's different era and different players, but it's the same principle that he'd bring them in for a few games and then take them out, put them back in, and sort of develop them over a longer period of time. And I think you can see it's worked with Elise because he started the season really well and he did sort of tail off a bit. Came off the bench against Millwall, set up the equaliser, played really well. And then yesterday he was fantastic for 80 minutes, 82 minutes, however long he was on the pitch for. So, no, I think the manager's got it spot on. And yeah, Elise is obviously reaping the benefits of it.
So I want to ask you both about the first half. It was 0-0 during the first half. How did Reading play? What was Ryan, I'll go to you first. What was the big thing that you took out of that first half that you think Reading could have pushed on for the second half? How was the performance? Let's go with that first.
Yeah, I don't think there is a single thing from not only the first half, the whole game that I can actually fault. Like I'm trying to be
apart from conceding.
Yeah, but there's, I mean, the goal. I don't know. People were saying it shouldn't have been given, should have been offside. I don't know. But,
so was the red card, because they were meant to have 2 red cards, weren't they? During that game, was the first red card incident in the first half or the second half?
I think there was war. I think they were both in the second.
Were they?
They were within about 5 minutes of each other.
This keeps happening, and we keep talking about this. And I can't believe the substandard quality of the referees in the Championship. It's just, and I don't know what the solution is, because obviously in the Premier League they brought in VAR to, try and solve these poor decisions. But is it Taylor Moore, the one that went in?
Yeah.
I mean that. What made me laugh is Veljko Paunovic got the same level of punishment as Taylor Moore, who could have potentially broken Josh Lawrence's leg for telling the Bristol City manager to. And I know it's not. I'm not condoning what he said, but
I am.
He's not gonna end his career, is he?
No.
By dropping a 4-letter word. So how the threshold between what constitutes a yellow card and a red card is ridiculous, because no disrespect to Taylor Moore, but he's not the best player in the world. Like, you would have to be. I'm trying to think of it. I don't know. Sergio Busquets maybe could have known that he was going to connect with the ball there, but if he misses, or if Josh Lawrence has his studs in the ground, that's a leg breaker all day long.
Even saying that, if Josh Lawrence didn't see him coming, because he saw him.
That's the routine. Like, there are so many different factors. Yeah, that is a leg breaker. There's potentially a career-ending tackle, and he's got away with a yellow. And the manager gets the same thing for telling Dean Holden to play with himself. So it frustrates me. It was definitely a red. I don't care if he got the ball. It's endangering an opponent. And yeah, the whole the whole system is just flawed, and you keep
Okay.
talking about it.
Do you think VAR needs to come into the Championship? I know that there's a lot of talk of VAR in the Premiership right now, with Liverpool and with other teams as well.
I'm not a fan of VAR, other than the other day when West Brom should have had a penalty and then didn't get one, and then Man United got one. Then I was a fan of VAR. I'm not a huge fan of VAR. I do still prefer the sort of human element of it, and sort of accept that close decisions might be missed, narrow offsides, but when someone lunges in 2 feet in the air, that's not a close decision. That's that's down to the quality of the referee. And I think I put something on Twitter. It was only a joke. I got some messages from Bristol City fans yesterday saying that he's outside the dressing room marching autographs, but I've never seen, or I haven't seen in a long time, a referee so poor and so one-sided towards a team. It was almost as Reading were almost doomed to fail with that referee. Because, it was shocking, absolutely shocking.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the first goal. Ovie Ejaria, who seemed to not want to celebrate at all when he scored.
Was an interesting one.
Yeah, that really was that either. I don't know what happened there. He just sort of just turned around and went, "All right."
In my opinion, I think he just sort of. I reckon most of it, he was like, well, that's not my goal. Keeper would have saved it if it hadn't taken that deflection. And because of that, tone it down a little bit. But
if it was me,
Balotelli.
If it was me, I would have just run into the crowd and just celebrated, even if it was an own goal and I didn't score it. But that's me. That's me. But what did you think about the build-up play and leading to that goal?
The only thing, sorry, just going back to celebration, the only thing I thought of is after the Bournemouth game, obviously Reading were 2-0 up and then fluffed it. So I don't know, perhaps if the manager had said something, right, if you go a goal ahead, don't get carried away. That could possibly explain the the frustration, celebration even. That's the only other thing that I could think of. Or he's a Bristol City. You might be a Bristol City fan.
Secretly a Bristol City fan. Yeah. So they then gone back with a goal, make it 1-1. What did you think of the defending or the goal for Bristol City's goal?
I thought, defensively they did switch off a little bit, but again, you're talking about what to me was a very clear offside goal, and it was missed, and it goes back to what I was saying earlier that Reading were almost doomed to fail with the officials yesterday. And it would be Naki Wells as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he always scores against us.
As soon as I saw his face come up, that was it, that he was going to score.
There's always that one player. It's two. There's Scott Sinclair and there's Naki Wells. They always, when it's against Reading, always score. No matter who they're playing.
There's more than two.
Oh, Fernando Torres. I remember, right, and I can remember this so clearly. I'm going off topic now. Was Fernando Torres either first joined Liverpool or he was going through a dry spell at Liverpool, and they were like, oh, is he ever going to get out of this dry spell? Will he become the striker he's meant to do? He comes to Reading, and he scored a hat-trick. I can remember this, and then he went on to become, I think, one of the best strikers Liverpool had in a number of years. And any striker that struggles, when you play Reading, you're going to score. You always know when they go through it. Reading is one of those teams. Go for a dry spell. You have Reading next.
Maran Kamak is another example.
Yes.
He hasn't scored in about 7 years, and Reading turned him into prime Maradona.
There was only 3 players yesterday that would have scored, and it's Naki Wells, Chris Martin, or Jamie Patterson.
Yeah. So, and then Elise probably did maybe the assist of the season, shall we call it that? Or one of the best assists that we've seen.
It was a very good pass. The awareness is phenomenal. I have to be honest, I didn't see it when I was watching it in real time. I was thinking, I'll just keep the ball, wait for me, say to sort of get on on the last man. But no, the weight of the pass was it was beautiful. It was lovely to see, and obviously Yaku still had a lot to do.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Is I think Elise's pass was good, and it was very good, but the run by Yaku. Not only did he run across, I think what he did very intelligently. I don't know what you guys think, but when he did the run, what he did is he ran in front of the defender to stop the momentum of that defender. Because if the defender then clattered him, that was going to be probably a yellow card because it's the last man. So they'll probably get a yellow for it.
It was very clever, and I think we've seen that with Yaku over time and experience, which is normal. He has sort of gained a lot more intelligence. When he first came, you could see that there was certainly ability and potential there, but it was very raw. He would sort of run around like a headless chicken and sort of bound through people. But yeah, he's definitely added sort of more of the intelligence side to his game now.
Do you think he's?
And the finish?
Sorry.
The finish was really intelligent as well. I thought the keeper Bentley he'd made 5 or 6 really good saves. I thought if Yaku had tried to hit it early or hit it hard, then you probably would have fancied the keeper to save it. But he took that extra touch, which at the time I was thinking, God, what are you doing? But he was just so calm and composed, waited for the keeper to decide what he was going to do, and then just tapped it round him, and it was a great goal, brilliant goal.
We know that, Ryan. I'm going to ask you this question. We know that Yak's got, I think it was 16 goals, 17 goals last season. Do you think he's added something different under Paunovic, or do you think he's just carried on that form that he had under Bowen?
I think he's just carried it on, to be honest. I don't think there's much difference in his in how he plays or anything. Because he's always been capable of scoring incredible goals. Mm-hmm. Look at the one against Fulham. They could 4-1 last season. It's what he's capable of. I don't think he's changed anything at all. I think he's just carried it on. But we also did see both sides of his game yesterday with that missed at 1-1 as well.
That's always been the issue with him. I think that always will be the issue with him. I think if he was more consistent, he'd be in the Premiership. If he could bring that consistency to his game, he could be a real, I don't want to say a top player, but a very good player, and definitely someone who can compete in the Premier League with his physicality, his pace, his skill. I mean, his touch lets him down from time to time, but you can you can forgive him for that for the quality goals he scores. And that just summed him up yesterday, where he nearly scored a bicycle kick. He did so well to bring that down and get it on target, and then he has an open goal. And he just that just sums him up for me. He's capable of the extraordinary, but he's also capable of inexplicable misses.
The extraordinary in the other end.
Yeah, exactly.
I just got home and I just missed the second goal, and I saw the and I turned it on and I saw and I went, oh, is it across? Mate, open goal, yes, 3. What? Now, literally, my reaction was what? Okay, so and then we could talk about his other end of the game as well: the power, the run, the skill to set up João, I think. And do you know what? And I don't think people talk about this enough, or they didn't talk about it that I saw, was when he was running, he took over 2 players, and I think that was brilliant. But the thing that really got me was when he was stood on the edge of the box looking to either do something with it, he put his arms out saying, can someone run? Someone do something. And then João went, right, done, go. And then he did that good pass. And do you know what? If I was João, because I haven't got the ability and the skill that he has, nowhere bloody near. But with him, I would have hit in that shot first time. But what he did very, very clever that I found was he let it run across his body. So it took the defender out of the question completely. And then he just slot that in the nearest corner that he did. And I thought that was...
Campbell, wasn't it? With the not quite, no. Yeah,
no, but it was very slick how he sort of took the defender out of the game for him to have an opportunity to score.
First of all, the movement was brilliant. He was sort of at the left-hand side of the box, and he sort of darted near post at the right time. and yeah, the touch was sublime to take two defenders out of the game. It was a great finish. I'm fairly sure he scuffed it.
Mm-hmm.
Watching the replay, I'm not sure if he intended to do that. If he did, then fair play to him. Just stroke it in the corner. But yeah, it was a brilliant goal.
Because I think 5 minutes before that, on the edge of the box between Joe and Ejaria, Joe was. And I think he did very clever where he was moving the ball around until he found a gap on the edge of the box when Ajaria found him. And he went for a shot and the defender started to block it. Then he cut back and then completely took the defender away his shot and I think the keeper saved it. And you could just tell. When we do the NFL show, on the NFL show, there's a guy called Rob, and he's a Sheffield Wednesday fan as well as when we do the NFL. And he turned around and says the most annoying thing about Jow was his inconsistency when he was at Sheffield Wednesday. And he said, and that was that annoying thing that he can see now was because of when he was there, he would have one game where he was absolutely sublime, but then it would be 5 games where he just wouldn't do anything, and then he'd be out injured, and then he would come back and he would do something. And that was the one thing he said that it was the most annoying was of him. But he seems, is it Paunovic that's got him out of the best and getting in their best? What triggered Jow to do what he's doing?
I think there's probably a combination of things. I think age, certainly, I think he's 27 now, isn't he?
I think so. I'm going to go on.
So he's maturing. He's sort of starting to hit, his peak age, so to speak, for a striker.
Mm-hmm.
The manager has definitely, done wonders with him. Obviously on the training field, and
he's the same age as me. Dear God, he's 27.
I know, Gary. The other thing is, I think also there might be a bit of added responsibility about it. The only thing I think of it, when he was at Sheffield Wednesday, they had, and I can't name them all, but I think at one point they had Gary Hooper, Jordan Rhodes,
Stephen Fletcher,
Sam Winnell, Stephen Fletcher,
and the Forestieri.
But there were strikers everywhere, so he was never going to be, that even if he did stay fit every game, he was never going to be, that sort of main man where he's come to Reading and he's obviously relishing that sort of pressure and title of, okay, you are top dog, so to speak. You are, the first striker that we put on the team sheet, and that's probably had an effect on him as well. And players that he's got around him that they play to his strengths. They go, they put the ball up to him sometimes. It's not always just into his feet. And
do you think that they've unintentionally, but done it correctly, built a team around him? Do you think that's what they've done? Is unintentionally they haven't realised they've actually done this until I think the end of last season.
Interesting to know who decided that he could. I'm not sure if it would because it was Gomez.
Gomez who signed him. Yeah,
it'd be interesting to know what the thought process was behind signing him, because they knew that he wasn't. They knew he had his injury problems, because you can't not know. So it'd be interesting to know the thought process behind signing him, whether he was brought in to be that sort of star man, to like you say, to have a team built around him. Or, at the time they bought in Puskás as well for nearly double the money. So yeah, it would be interesting to know whether this was always the sort of long-term strategy of the club to bring him in and build a team around him. And if I had to bet on it, I would say no, it wasn't. I'd say it was more to build around Puskás.
But they've unintentionally done it, haven't they?
Yeah, sort of the second striker, so to speak. But yeah, I think they've unearthed a gem, and I said it yesterday, and I'll argue with everyone that to me, he is the best striker Reading have had since Dave Kitson. I know people mention Adam Le Fondre, he was brilliant, but he was a goal scorer. He wasn't an all-round centre forward.
I'm going to be very, very controversial with my comment here. So, Reading fans, be prepared to get triggered. But I didn't rate Adam Le Fondre. I rated him when he started, like as in the starting 11. I went, he ain't going to score, and sometimes he did in the Championship. In the Premiership, he didn't. He come off the bench. He was, in my opinion, the best impact sub you can have at a club. He was never, for me, a good starting striker. It was someone that when you had defenders that were tiring off, and you needed a little rabbit or a little someone that would just numb at the defender, a little bulldog at the end of the
Jack
game.
Russell.
Exactly.
Hill.
You needed that at the end of the game. He was the perfect man for it. But for me, I didn't think, and I say this now, and with everything as well, I didn't rate him as a starting striker. But I saw your comment of that yesterday, and I was thinking about it as a big target man striker. Since Dave Kitson, I think Jason Roberts was probably one, but he wasn't an out and out goal scorer. He was a very much a team player. We've had John Daddy Buffarson,
Matthew Mansay.
Yeah, and he was very inconsistent with what he was as well.
To be fair, was fantastic. But to me, Jowl just has that, similarly to what Kitson had, you can put it in the air to him. He's good with the ball at his feet. He can create something out of nothing, and he's a great goal scorer. And I don't think Reading have had anyone that complete as a centre forward since Dave Kitson. And yeah, that was the basis of my argument. Jowl is brilliant. He's fantastic, and just fingers, toes, and everything crossed that nothing happens to him. They need to wrap him up in cotton wool, rest him if need be. I know they can't at the moment because Puskás is out, but
yeah,
they need to take him out for a game. Do it. Just keep him fit over the duration of the season.
Question for you lot. Has it been rumoured or anything? And I'm just thinking this at it. Ryan, I'm going to ask you first. If, let's say, a big money offer come in for Jowl in January from Wolves, it's obviously because it's Portuguese.
From Wolves, isn't it?
Yeah. Big money move. Would you sell him?
No. Not now. Not at all. I'd hope that he is one of Dion's lucky gems now, and they could offer 25 million and just don't take it. Not in January when we're in a position like we are now. If we were to lose him, I think it would completely break the season, and there's only one way that we'd be going, and that's just down the table.
I mean, sorry, carry on.
Sorry, I was just going to say, whereas we keep him fit, get on, we don't have someone to replace him to keep the goals coming. And there's every chance with him in the squad that we'll stay near to the top and potentially get automatic promotion, playoffs. And he's too important.
Mr. Friday.
I just think we've hit the stage now with Lucas Jowl where if Reading lost him, it would be a catastrophe.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't see anyone else in that team capable of doing what he does. And Mate will score you goals. Puskás will get you some goals. No disrespect to Bulldog, but he's not, he's not the player he was. He's not going to have that sort of impact anymore. If a big money offer came in, and I think it would have to be huge money to tempt Reading to sell, because to replace him, they'd have to buy someone in January who would obviously be, their value would be above what their actual value is, because it's January. It always happens like that. I think it would take an incredible offer for Reading to even consider it.
I'm going to ask you both this question because it's been playing on my mind the past few days, and especially after yesterday's game as well. Tom Holmes, as I think now slid himself into that permanent right back position, back four position after his performances, because every time he's played, he's done nothing wrong. Not saying that Estevez has done it, but Estevez is very young and he's very inexperienced. And he's made a few mistakes, but he's learning from them. And I think they need to rotate them too.
Holmes is young and inexperienced.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been phenomenal, and I completely agree with you. It would be a farce to drop him. I think he pulls up that defence so much.
The thing is, Estevez is also not our player.
No, No, and I agree with that. So the question I now have for you both is, because Holmes is now slid that right back position, what do you do now with Yiedom, who keeps getting injured?
Thought of that yesterday, and I think, I mean, while he keeps getting injured, keep playing Holmes. When he gets back fit, I think, Yiedom, he's a senior player. He's a very good player. When Yiedom's on form, he's brilliant. And I think Yiedom does get in over Holmes. I think Holmes needs to accept.
He's also versatile, though.
Yeah, but again,
he could play either side. I think he'd be good cover for Richards. He's also, like you said, he's a senior member of the squad. He's someone you'd want around to coach.
I can't see Holmes getting in the team over Yiedom. I think Holmes, again, what was he, 18, 19?
I think so.
Young. And again, you talk about giving young players too much too soon. He's been fortunate. Well, not fortunate. He's worked incredibly hard to get to where he is, but injuries.
20.
Yeah. In a way, he has been a bit fortunate, because he wouldn't have played had Araruna and Yiedom got injured.
No, exactly. So I think he just needs to relish the experience he's getting at the moment. But I think when Yiedom gets back fit, I think 100% that'll be Holmes.
It's quite fascinating looking at Tom Holmes' career. From 2017 to 2019, he only made 3 senior appearances for Reading. And then he went on loan to Belgium. I think that was the owners. Which is the owners' Belgium team, or used to be their team. Yeah. And he played 11 times for them on loan, and he become like a consistent figure according to reports out there for him and in there. And he's come back and he's just.
I can tell you a true story. His debut. I remember after the game, and I was speaking to one of the guys that worked for the club, and I said, "Is there any chance we could get a chat with Tom Holmes?" He said, "Yeah, that should be fine." So they went down to find him, and I said to one of the other guys with me, I said, "Oh, he's just going to be this cocky, arrogant, jumped up teenager." He is the nicest, poshest footballer you'll meet. He's just so polite, and he was all just like well-to-do, and hello, how are you? He was just such a lovely, genuine guy, and I was so surprised. It was this 17-year-old that's just played for Reading. I thought he's going to be on cloud 9. He's going to be really sort of, here I am on the big time Charlie. He was just the complete opposite, and he's such a nice guy. Credit to him. He's a lovely guy.
I was thinking it because the reason why I thought about this was with the performances that he's been putting on, and for me, I think Yiedom will probably get in, but I can't see them dropping Holmes, because every time Holmes has played, we've drawn or won. We haven't lost. The only time we lost is when he come on as a sub against Bournemouth, if I'm correct, because the other times that he played, he was injured during the losses that we had as well. So for me, he seems to be a player that might be cementing himself into the team, and I think it would be a struggle for Yiedom to come straight in. It's the same with Swift. How does Swift get in? And is he going to have to Is he going to have to become a rotation with Elise? You can't drop Mate because he's scoring. You can't drop Ejaria. You could maybe drop Ejaria sometimes, but when Ejaria is on form, you can't drop him. You can't drop either Laurent or Reno as well, because them two have now become a biggest partnership in football.
It will be one of them. It will be Reno or Laurent that will go out for Swift. I said I can't see him. That front four yesterday was absolutely brilliant. I definitely can't see Swift getting in there at the moment. Obviously, we don't have to worry about that for a while because he's out injured. But I think, didn't man just say that he might be back sort of Christmas time? Or
the next few weeks.
I saw something about he's in phase 1 of his return.
And Yiedom might not be back until the start of next year.
He's going to be a little bit longer, yeah.
Which is a bit disappointing in that. Right, let's talk about Sheffield Wednesday. It's going to be a tough game. Go on, Ryan. Sorry.
No, I was going to say 2 things. Back on Holmes, I saw what you tweeted about.
Ryan, we've done that. Jesus.
No. I was just going to say about. Also, I think there's something from the game yesterday that we should have talked about but didn't. the Chris Martin yellow, because a lot of people were saying that there was potential there to be a red as well.
Definitely. I mean, again, he's intentionally scraped his studs down the back of Liam Moore's leg. It's a really painful one, and he was lucky. He was a lucky boy, not good enough. Oh yeah, I won't go into what I think about Chris Martin, but
useless fact.
I think I made it quite clear. Yeah, what I make of his attitude and
fucking useless anyway.
And just
Right, let's talk about Sheffield Wednesday before we go on about more of that useless fat idiot. So Sheffield Wednesday, who at the start of the season, Gary Monk sacked him, and they hired probably the most boring manager in football, could be, in Tony Pulis. So let's go through their past 5 games. Is they lost to Wickham 1-0 away, they beat Bournemouth at home 1-0, they drew against Millwall 0-0. Lost to Preston 1-0, drew against Swansea 1-1, and they, I think Chris Kamara put it as one of the most boring games of football he's ever gone to yesterday, where it was 0-0, against Stoke. They are currently second from bottom with Derby, Mr. Rooney's Derby. That's just fucking weird to say. Second bottom on 8 points. They are 4 points from Nottingham Forest. Out of the relegation zone. Christ, Wickham are only 2 points. Cool, Wickham. From the relegation zone as well. So, what are we making for this game on Wednesday? This is not going to be fun to watch, I don't think. It's going to be stunning. Ryan, I'm going to go to you first because you look like something you wanted to say something. But go on then. What do you think
I was going to say, when we done the monthly pod, a while ago when we went through the next 5 games and done all the predictions then.
Yep.
I said it then. Sheffield Wednesday are a decent team. As you can see by their last 5 games, they don't give much away, but they don't create much.
Mm-mm.
And I'm sticking by what I said in terms of prediction. It's got 0-0 written all over it.
Yeah, I was just looking because I got the piece of paper here, what you said, and you said 0-0. Mr. Friday, what you expected from the game?
See, it's part. Maybe I am turning into a bit of an old cynic, but there's something about this that just smacks of Reading slipping up. I don't know if it's, where they are in the league table, or they're not in great form, and how many times have we seen Reading go away to someone who's should be, a team that you'd have thought would be higher up the table than they are, on a bad run of form, and then they turn Reading over.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to think after yesterday and Millwall that they're on a sort of upwards trajectory now. Obviously, football's not played on paper, but on paper, Reading really should be coming away with a result. So, yeah, I think I'll go for a 1-0, but it will be tough. It will definitely be tough. They can't underestimate them.
So, from a Sheffield Wednesday point of view, because I was speaking to one of the fans yesterday who does the NFL podcast with us, Rob, and he said the main issue that Sheffield Wednesday have is they don't actually have a proper striker. He says, we've got Jordan Rhodes, who is shit.
5 of them last season. What have they done with them all?
Yeah, I know. So this is what he said. So last season, Stephen Fletcher's gone to Stoke. They sold a couple of them. One of them got released from his contract. The big
Forest,
tall.
yeah, right.
Yeah, and there was the other one who's the massive one.
Oh, Niku.
Yeah, him. He got released from his contract. So he said Jordan Rhodes, who's shit. He said Jack Marriott, who scored 3 goals all season last year for Derby. Huh?
Is he at Sheffield Wednesday now?
Yeah, he's on loan.
Yeah.
He went on loan at this, and he goes. He is now injured, so he won't be able to play. He's got that Kajunga, who is a winger. They got Josh Windass, who's an attacking midfielder, but they try and put him as a striker sometimes. And they got Callum Patterson, who's a right back, but they're trying to play him as a striker.
They had that Portuguese lad, didn't they? That's doing quite well now.
Yeah,
Plays for Reading.
Big bloke who they thought he was shit. But I went for this game. I actually didn't even put a score. Oh yeah, I did. I put a 2-0 win for Reading, and I think I'm going to stick with that. I think it will be 2-0. I think it will be a really tough game. It's Tony Pulis' team, and you can't underestimate a Tony Pulis' team because they will defend very, very well. going forward, sometimes they struggle if they don't have a good attacker. But I'm going to go 2-0. Mr. Friday, what are you going for?
Going for 1-0. Hopefully Holmes keeps his place because I think his sort of height and
Will definitely help him in this
very
game.
important because they're going to see a lot of long balls over the
Yeah.
top. So, yeah, no, I'll go for a 1-0. 1-0 win to Reading.
Perfect. Right, we will see how that gets going on Wednesday. It's going to be interesting because I record the NFL podcast exactly the same time as the Reading game. So if you want to see live reactions if we're winning of me mocking Rob during the game, you could definitely go check that out Thursday. But if not, Friday, we will be doing a roundup of that game and doing a review of what me and Ryan think about the Sheffield Wednesday game on Friday for you guys. And we will be building up to the game on Saturday. Who are we playing Saturday?
Nottingham Forest.
Yes, Nottingham Forest. Perfect. The first home game where...
Surely you remember your daughter's birthday.
Yeah, I know the day of her game. I can't remember who we were bloody playing. I was meant to be taking her to that for her very first game, but the partner's not letting me. Before we go, fans allowed back in the stadium, Mr. Friday. You'll be allowed back in, hopefully. To go.
Don't know that yet.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be allowed back in. It's a step forward, isn't it?
Big step forward, and I think it'll make a big difference. I know people say, "Oh, it's only 2,000," but it's a great step in the right direction. And 2,000 people can still make a lot of noise. Let's just hope that they're the singy part of Reading that get back in rather than the quiet part. But no, I think it will give the players a big lift. And like you said, it's a step in the right direction. So can't complain too much.
I saw a lot of people say, and we spoke about this a little bit on Friday, on the Friday podcast, was when they said they wanted to do, it should have been more about percentage of fans allowed back in instead of a set number. But for me, it's just get them in. Just get them in. They can review that later on.
I think
let us in.
I think that's it. I saw that as well, but then I thought that's very naive because you can get 20,000 people in, I don't know, inside Old Trafford and space them out. But it's getting them to the seats isn't. Sitting them down isn't the problem. It's how do you funnel 20,000 people through sort of narrow concourses, while keeping them at a social distance. So no, I think what they're doing is bang on for me.
Just get us in, see how it goes. Hopefully we'll be able to get tickets, and there might be the very first vlog on the channel, I don't know, where we will record what we have to do when we're at the game, or we will do something to show you guys and maybe do an Instagram live special at Medeski. But we will see if we can get in or not and see what happens. Hopefully I can. So even though it is my daughter's birthday, I can...
praying that we don't get a COVID yet, not just at Reading, but anywhere. So they all it's going to take is one person to run on the pitch and they'll...
It's just going to ruin it for everyone.
Be uproar everywhere. So
let's just hope that everything goes smoothly and everything goes well. But thank you ever so much for both of you for joining.
One more thing.
Oh.
Very important.
Oh, no.
FA Cup third round draw.
Oh, yeah. When's that?
Monday. Tomorrow.
Oh, that'll be Man United, won't it? It always is.
Huddersfield away.
Man United away.
I want a League Two club at home.
What a big team, don't you? Man United at home.
If you want a big team, you don't want Man United then.
Yeah, that's true. Southampton.
Man City at home. Bring Pep Guardiola to the Medeski.
Might learn a thing or two.
Exactly. Cool. If he hasn't seen quiet fans before, he would have found it there.
Oh no, he's used to. Well, he's more than used to playing in front of no fans, isn't he?
Exactly. So he's got no fans. Right. Thank you guys very much for joining. Don't forget to go and follow and go give us all a like, and we will see you guys tomorrow or whenever you watch the next one. Bye.